welcome back to another week. John's Family Podcast.
Bonjour.
So exciting. Patricia Johns, Jack Johns off camera today doing as we call the live cutting because in his words, he didn't want to listen back to us. So sometimes he decides I want a live cut because I don't want to have to rewatch it and cut between. Is that right, Jay?
And we've got a big week this week.
It's a big week. We're getting ready to head off to Magic Round.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
When this comes out, we're off. So there's a lot happening.
Yeah,
it's a big week.
Yeah. Up at Fanland, Level 7, Queen's Wharf on the leisure deck, Saturday 12 to 2 p.m.
Okay, I'm excited about it now. I'm not as nervous as I was last week.
You may have noticed we haven't introduced Matthew yet. Matthew, he's been off us all week.
Yep.
Those people that watch Matthew's Fox show may have seen the Xavier Coates prank where they got him with a snake and the bugs, but you could see that Dad was quite anxious the whole show. And when he got home and we did a little bit of a gag where we had the snake on his spot on the couch, and Matthew may have gotten quite angry at Patricia and us boys. Yeah. Hasn't really spoken to us all week.
Hey, mate, you should be grateful. They wanted to put it in your bed.
That is true.
I took them down from the bed. I negotiated it down.
The blood, sweat and tears of my life exist in the walls of this building. It'd be like you guys being afar and hearing that your worst enemy, I've let your worst enemy in the house and was, sitting on your favourite chair or something like that, to be on TV and see a serpent crawling on my spot on the couch.
Brandy.
But what about the snake cover?
But here's the thing. Whenever I get home on Thursday night, takes me a lot to unwind. So I lay there and sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch the second half of the football again, just to sort of recap.
Or your show.
And I couldn't lay there because the snake had been there and I was so on edge that I had a feeling that the snake was maybe, I don't know, like when it came into the house, I was like, and I've never had terse words with any of my producers or any of the boys on the show. But mate, I tell you, I fucking lost it.
I heard you got angry. I remember Hammy texted me, who's in the back end of your shows. He texted me and he was quite worried about you because apparently you did have some choice words with some of the producers when they put some boxes in your car at the end of the show.
So it was a tough show anyway because I'm always looking after my show. And I said to them, guys, do we have to, like the snake thing, I'm trying to host the show and all I'm doing is looking over my shoulder expecting someone to come in with the diamond python hanging over my neck or something like that. And then the show's over, I go downstairs, and some palookas have put like boxes in my car so that, I'm assuming there's a snake in the car.
A serpent.
So I thought, you know what, enough's enough. So I just marched back up there. I went up, I didn't march up there.
You marched?
I got the lift up there. So, I let the lift take me. And I got up there, and mate, I'm looking for anyone. Fletch and Hindy, and then I spot my producer, Johnny, and mate, I could see Johnny's face. I just went, Johnny, get the fuck down now and get those fucking boxes out of my fucking car.
Yeah.
And he was like,
he's like,
oh.
And for context,
he's so lovely.
For context to the people, he would have known about it, but he would not have been the instigator.
Exactly.
He's like the nicest guy.
Yeah. I heard Jimmy's name mentioned. Leon was a kingpin.
Well, here's the other thing. Seeing Leon laying in my position on the bed.
In your bed.
And Leon told me that he was trying to coax you into bed. He goes, it'd be funny. Me and Trish knew better. Trish was like, I'm not getting in there.
Yeah.
Because, mate, it's fair to say Leon's got wandering hands.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Well, the original idea was going to be that I go over and I pull the blanket back and Leon was in bed with the serpent.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Trish said no. Trish said only one serpent in this bed.
Yeah.
I would have lost it. If that...
I knew you wouldn't have been able to sleep.
That
in
snake,
the bed.
Because when I was a kid, I used to have this phobia that there was always snakes in my bed.
Oh,
you have to pull them back. And so I was 17. But so if I'd have seen that snake in the bed, we would have had to throw that bed out.
Yeah, I know you would have.
She was lovely, Cobber, the snake.
Yeah, Brandy.
She was lovely.
She actually was so delightful, wasn't she? She was beautiful.
She actually was like, I was quite hesitant at the start, but like, because I don't love snakes. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. But she was quite gentle, and she's
very friendly.
She wasn't the one that they were writing about in the Old Testament. Like she was a different kind of.
She's not that
serpent.
asp.
Yeah. No. She wouldn't have forced Adam or Eve to eat the apple.
She wasn't hanging out in apple trees. Put it that way.
No.
Yeah, they're all friendly and lovely and nice till they take a piece out of your arm
Sure.
and inject like
But you should have seen her with her handler. Like she kept going up to him, like almost into his neck, cuddling him. It was pretty beautiful.
That's cool.
I was waiting for the other strippers though,
Sick.
like Chastity, Destiny,
Yeah,
Candy.
that's what Trish kept running that gag. Whenever the guy would like tell Trish about the
Brandy?
Brandy, and then she kept like he didn't hear. Trish kept going like, "Where's Chastity, Destiny, and like the other strippers?" And no one kept laughing. Everyone just
It was
ignored.
funny.
It was funny to you. It's funny to you. But when you call his beautiful pet a stripper and kept the
No,
worst
just a
part
stripper
was,
name.
yeah, but
Well,
you
it might
said
have
it
shed
like,
its skin. It would be a stripper.
yeah,
Well, it sheds every 4 months,
4 months.
He told me about it. It's quite interesting. They can see when it's going to happen. They get like a reddish tinge to their
Well,
thing.
I'll tell you a
It's quite
story.
beautiful.
Well, I'll just tell you, here's a word of warning. Do you remember Alice Cooper used to have his...
Well, hey, Brandy was used in Alice Cooper's show last year.
Yes, she
when
was.
she came to
She's a
Australia.
celebrity snake.
So she's a cool snake cobber.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Does that make you like her a little bit more? Be
It
honest.
kind of did impress him.
It does, doesn't it?
Around the neck of a legend.
Yes.
Well, I read a story in a book called What You Want's in the Back Seat. And it was a story about 1974, Alice Cooper, Led Zeppelin, and The Who going on a world tour. Not all together, but simultaneously. And there's a story in it where, of course, Alice Cooper always had his snake. I think it was Damien, used to carry a big python. Anyway, he was a big drinker in those days, it says in the book. And Alice Cooper...
Because he doesn't drink anymore, does he? He plays golf instead.
doesn't. Yeah, that's his addiction.
Yeah,
So he
sure.
said he was laying on the bed and suddenly Damien, used to lay next to him in the bed and he thought it was really cute, but what had happened, it was sizing him up.
Yeah.
Once it actually got him when he was laying in bed and it was
Stunted, strict shirts.
it wrapped around him. Had to get security in there to cut it off.
Oh, cut it off like Bob by Damien. Ciao.
Yeah, bye.
Ciao. Hey,
and
well,
that's
he did
with Alice
mention
Cooper.
that, like Harriet, our cat, was outside because she's been relegated to outside because there's been some incidents
Keep
of late.
shitting everywhere.
Oh man.
Pooing all over the couch.
Anyway,
Do you remember what the snake tamer's name was, Coop?
Kev.
Kev. Because I kept doing like weird, after he mentioned that, I kept saying like weird quotes to him. He didn't get it. Like, I kept saying things like, remember all the Wayne's World quotes from Alice Cooper? I kept like slowly going up to going, well, you know, I'm a regular here in Milwaukee. It's certainly had its fair share of visitors. And he's like, oh, yeah. So,
Oh no, he must have thought you were a weirdo.
he's right.
Sure. Yeah. Another classic Jack
We're
Zinger.
not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah, but I mean, he did mention that this like Brandy could eat Harriet, our cat.
He did say that, yeah.
Yeah, I went, oh, that's in poor
He
taste.
said that's what like she eats. He was like, yeah, she could pump a cat like easy.
He was saying it'd take her like 2 weeks to digest the
Yeah,
whole
that's
cat,
right.
But she'd get it done.
Yeah.
Well,
Correct.
Harriet, there's a warning for you. No more shitting on the couch, bro.
Yeah, well, there will be consequences. But he did come home and then he woke me like and
Who, Kev?
no, you.
All right.
Leon.
You and then you're like, has it gone? Is it here? Is it here? I'm like, mate, as if they're going to actually leave a snake, a protected sort of species, is it? With us.
Species.
Species.
What did I say?
Species.
Species.
Or something like that.
Seriously, there
You
is
said
something wrong with my mouth.
We
I've
know
been
that.
saying
I know.
things.
Yeah, like your dad's been saying that for years.
She's a biter.
A buyer.
Biter,
Yeah.
Trish. Biter.
Is there something wrong with my ears as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. She never wears her headphones. That's
No,
why.
yeah.
'Cause
I
she-
have no headphones.
You keep saying the headphones, mate. It doesn't make me. I never look good in headphones.
no, I look great in headphones. What are you talking about?
Well, how come it's always a big deal when we say we put headphones in your seat? You go, do I have to wear these?
The hair.
No, because you always only have 3 and I go, oh, it's fine. I don't need to have them.
One right there, Trishy.
No, I don't think so.
I love headphones. I love a microphone. I like a headphone.
Oh, no, you like a microphone. You're almost coming in that hot. You're almost swallowing the thing.
Have we got a question
like
to start us
brandy.
off?
Oh, yes, we do have a question to start us off. If you had to choose a drink for each of the rest of us in this room, which would it be and why? Trish, do you want to start? This was your one.
I would love this.
So
this came off
meaning
the
it's
bat.
a name. It's a name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came off the bat of watching boom, boom, dun, 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 Law and Order, and Ice-T came up. And I went, wow, and then I just started thinking.
Yeah,
Which is a
though
dangerous
he
thing.
obviously wasn't named after Ice-T. Like, it was more like,
That's his stage name, though.
yeah. But he wasn't. He didn't have Ice-T the drink in mind, I'm
No.
sure.
Oh, I think you
Because
did.
there's like ice. Isn't there heaps of like other ice letters, like Ice B?
There's Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, obviously. There's like some other ones though.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's heaps of Lil
Vanilla Ice.
Lil Pump.
Little.
Like Lil Pump.
Little Wayne.
Lil Wayne, Lil Dicky. There's a guy
Lil
called
Dicky.
There's a guy named Lil Dicky out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what Ice-T's real
Fortunate for
name
him.
is, Coop?
Do you know what?
Tracy Lauren Marrow.
Oh, Marrow.
That's Ice-T's real name.
It's actually a much nicer name.
I really like him.
Tracy Lauren.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, he's likable.
Sure. Go on, Trish.
Okay, so for Matthew, I chose Spider.
Sweet.
Right.
Next one.
Spider, because you're a treat.
Oh, I'm a treat.
You know the Spider drinks, like you get creaming soda and then you
Just
put a
like-
scoop of ice cream in it.
Trish, yeah, we know.
So
I
you're a
love that.
treat.
Yeah.
What was the best
I love that.
what was the best soft drink you put with a Spider?
Oh, I reckon
Ginger beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
creaming soda is pretty good.
Creamy soda was good. I think I like ginger beer was very good with a bit of ice cream.
Yeah.
Lemonade's pretty good.
Nah.
I've never had Coke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coke's
Yeah,
good.
no, I'd had Coke in it.
Coke is good.
Lime Spider. Jack, you have a Lime Spider?
I had a Fanta one.
No, I've never had a lime spider.
Fanta.
I've had Fanta.
You know what? Talking about Fanta there and ginger beer. It's time we're gonna have our Molly Meldrum soon. Remember we invented the drink, the Molly Meldrum, which was
Yummy.
It was
Vodka and ginger beer.
vodka, rum, Fanta, and ginger beer.
Oh,
Because
Jesus.
that was Molly Meldrum's
Mate,
drink
you
of
probably
choice.
added a bit too much in there. I don't know that the responsible service of alcohol is going on.
It's fine.
Well, lucky we're not under that. Do you have any more for anyone else?
Of course I do. Jack,
Here we go.
kombucha,
Yeah.
because you're good for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, gut health. Yeah.
You're good for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
you're good for people. You're good for people.
For who?
Cooper,
Yeah.
iced coffee, because you're a new take on an old favourite.
Trish had a coffee this morning.
Trish,
Nah.
what sort of mood are you in today? Can we
Why?
talk?
I really thought these were really good.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're
No,
good.
it's just your presentation and
Oh.
your yeah. What's?
Well, I
have you had-
found one for myself too,
have you
if
had
you don't
caffeine?
mind. No, not an ounce.
Not an ounce of caffeine today.
Not an ounce. Not
Yeah.
even in my protein
Have you
drink.
had an ounce of anything else?
Nothing.
Speed. A little bit of
Nothing.
speed. Speedball.
No, sorry. What's
I'm
your
just
one?
trying to get through the day.
No, you're on fire.
I gave myself Shiraz, full-bodied, smooth, with a nice peppery undertone.
Yeah, lovely.
Hey, sure.
I've gone. Oh, Trish, I've given you the
better be-
Moscow Mule because you're stubborn. Jack, I've gone dark and stormy because you can be quite moody. Cooper, dirty martini, lifestyle, and
Extra dirty, I hope.
I've given myself. If I was to have a name of drink, I think Mojito John's.
Mojito.
Mojito.
Manhattan Johns, maybe?
Manhattan.
Yeah. Sex on the beach, John.
Cocksucking cowboy.
Oh, my favourite. Yeehaw! He's my favourite cocksucking cowboy.
Bet you are.
Yeah, sure, Trish. It'd be nice if that bled into your relationship.
Yeah, I know.
Jack, what's your one?
You show me a cowboy.
Well, I had Trish's Sex on the Beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought.
It's so inappropriate.
I know it is so,
so inappropriate.
It is so inappropriate, but
Well, given the fact that a former fiance was a surfer, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Well, I'm just saying, Trish.
Wait, you've mentioned it 100 times.
I know.
It's cool. It's
What's
cool.
101?
It's not cool.
Well, I actually put these through ChatGPT because that's
Oh, nice.
you know what I'm like. I'll find any shortcut I can take. So
Correct.
It actually had it as it said. Trish might be vibrant and exciting. So there you go. That's for Sex on the Beach.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. Well, you can just ask AI if you've got any questions.
Hasn't seen me lately.
Ask Al.
Matthews is old fashioned.
Ooh.
Yeah, old fashioned,
Like
a bit
that.
classy. And then Cooper Johns, well, the coffee must be the theme because espresso martini was labelled for Cooper Johns.
That works for him.
I
Bit high.
I hate them.
So do I. They make me sick.
I hate it. I don't like coffee in general. Well, it's growing on me now because I get up. I don't know, like if you guys, I get up real early.
Oh, yeah, I know. We've
because I do
heard.
I do breakfast radio.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I
You
do a
wake
bit
me
of-
every morning when you shower.
So 4:30 every morning. Yeah. So like coffee's become my friend, but I'm not an espresso man. I always spew on them.
Yeah.
Felice
I do
Kafusi
too.
used to buy them all the time and then make everyone scull them. Every time I would spew. Every single time.
Even Kahlua back in the day used to make me vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
I know that.
it's the upper and downer.
I'll drink to
Yeah, I know
that.
I'll drink
Are you
that.
serious? Okay.
Okay, Coop's
There's an inside joke there. We're not going to go into it. Okay, Trish, for you, a large weak almond milk flat white because that is also the shittest coffee order of all time. Letting the people know that's what Trish orders every day.
Hang on. Read it again.
A large weak almond milk flat white.
It's
Boo.
I get embarrassed when I order it
It's a
for you.
decaf, mate.
Oh, so it's
lift
large, weak, decaf,
Yes.
almond milk flat white. Are you serious?
Yes.
How can it be a weak decaf?
Yes.
On a school night?
Are you serious?
No, because it's the taste. You want the weakness for the taste. I don't like, because I'm like Cooper, I don't like the taste of coffee. And decaf, because I can't have caffeine, but it still does have a bit of caffeine in it. But I haven't had that in ages. I haven't had coffee for ages.
She's free.
I know, but it's actually the worst. And Dad always gets so embarrassed. He acts like he knows what she wants because he's ordered enough times. But every single time Dad's down at the cafe and he's ordering for her, he'll like look at his phone and go, "Oh no, I've just got to order this for my wife," and act like he's reading it. But he knows what he's about to order. He just wants them to know it's not for him.
It's not for me.
I always prefix it with "I'm really sorry."
Yeah,
And then say it. And they go, "Oh, that's not the worst we've had." And I go, "Okay."
sure.
Sometimes it is the worst.
Matthew, if you actually had espresso martini, energetic, but you can only ever have about one or two.
Yeah, otherwise you get me sickly.
Yeah, or you have like a heart attack job. Jack, Bloody Mary, because I cannot stand Bloody Marys, especially when I'm hungover. Especially when I'm hungover, cannot stand it. And Jack,
You can't stand me when you're hungover, can you?
oh, I can't cop Jack when I'm hungover.
Really?
Cannot cop him.
Well, geez, lucky
Jack-
you're
Because
good.
he's like a puppy, like wants to chat and
He always
catch
just
up.
comes into my room and he's just like standing there looking at me, and I'm like, bruh. I say, you got to get out of my face every time. And sometimes I'm so James Blunt with him, I'm just like, you got to get out of my room. And he's like, oh, you're a dickhead then.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not a dickhead.
Good for you, Jack.
Thanks, Cobber.
How does that
Next time you're crook in your room and you're after attention, guess what, mate? You're on your own.
Next time I'm cooking, they're the times where I don't want to see you guys.
Oh, really? You're like a cat.
Cooper is, he is. Cooper is like a cat.
I'm like, well, I don't like that.
Feline.
You don't like that analogy?
Hope Brainy comes and swallows you up. That's what I hope.
Like if Cooper's sad, he'll go into himself. Yeah. Cooper's like me like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you've been keeping an eye on not our John's Family podcast socials, but our backstage socials, every Thursday, Jack's come up with a brilliant idea where he bought a pack of cards and
he bought a box of NRL cards.
Yeah, sure. But we get the pack of cards and we will open it. Dad will blindly pick one, and whoever it is, we got to put them down anytime. Yes, Patricia. Yeah. Geez, you're on fire today. You are bloody on fire today.
No, because you just said card without naming a player.
That's so true. Cooper, you should get your words right before.
Disappointed, Coops.
Yeah.
How long have we been going for? Is it too quick? Can we cut the camera?
No, it's only 17 minutes. Keep going.
What's the minimum? Anyway, so we'll pick out a player and we got to put an anytime try scoring bet on. Matthew this week, he picked Kyle Flanagan.
Yep.
Who, look, I wasn't hopeful for. Still put the bet on.
I had a good feeling.
Did you? I get a good feeling. And then came through, won against the...
How good?
Didn't win the game, but scored a try.
That's all we needed.
That's all that matters.
When he went across the line, I just punched the air, man.
What? Because you were out at the game. What?
$5.
What odds? $5.
$5 he do.
Good.
There we go.
Yep. I was sitting just in front. It was really nice. Just after Kyle Flanagan scored, I punched the air in jubilation and looked down. One of my favourite actors of all time was just sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
Brian Brown.
And he's a St. George supporter, isn't he?
St. George supporter, yes.
Yeah, I like Brian Brown
and,
too.
I did I went, Brownie, how are you? He turned around. I don't think he had a clue who I was. I said, "Hey, you going, Brownie? You going good, mate?" He's like, "Oh, yeah. No, I kept doing little, because I had a few on board. I kept doing little quotes from Cocktail, where he talks to Tom Cruise's character.
Yeah, like what were some of them?
Oh, what's Tom Cruise's character in there? I forget what it's called, but he always goes, "Murphy's Law, my boy." Says that. So something would happen, and it was a 3-on-2. They look like they're going to score. They blow the try, the Dragons, and I'd go, "Murphy's Law, my boy." There you go. And I'd see he was getting.
I think he figured out who you were towards the end though, because remember at halftime he come in and was very chirpy. He was a good bloke, very terrific,
fantastic.
You can tell he's a good bloke.
I tell you what, the place you were sitting, some heavy hitters in there, weren't they, Big M?
Sure, boy.
Where were you sitting?
Do you remember who else was in there?
Yeah, of course I do.
Go on, name a couple.
Anthony Albanese.
Was he in there?
Yeah, Albo was in there.
I didn't see him. Shit, that was a heavy hitter. But Andrew Abdo, Peter Volandis, Hans Shandies was in there.
Yep. Peter Volandis. Luke Ricketson.
Anthony Minicello,
Minnie.
the Count.
Mark Fennessy.
Fenno was in there. Yeah, friend of the podcast.
Yes.
That's about it, I think.
Yeah, no, and Minnie's wife, of course. Who's,
Terry.
Yeah, Terry Beviano.
Yes.
That's right.
You boys want to pick those names up?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
It was exciting. It was just good to be there.
Dad was, let me tell you something, Dad was on fire.
I did that joke with Andrew Abdo again. He didn't get it.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hello, Graham. How are you?
Yeah,
I go, hello, Andrew. It's great to see you.
He kept impersonating Andrew to Andrew, and I don't know whether he knew that Dad had done the prank before or what. I imagine he probably
not.
I reckon somebody would have showed him before.
I think he's probably a busy man.
But we've always talked about it on the potty, and Campbell Graham spoke about it on your show as well on the Sunday night. So I imagine somebody's tipped him up and said, Matthew Johns is impersonating you and prank calling players.
Yes. Hello, Andrew. How are you? He goes, see, you're working on your South African accent. I said, how does it sound? He goes, not good.
Andrew said. Very good.
Yeah, and shout out to Anzac Day the other day. Did anyone play any 2-ups? Because I actually missed out.
I didn't. I went. I took my girl Tash. She loves 2-up. So we went to Palm Beach RSL, which was actually really nice because we weren't too many people there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't feeling it. I couldn't get into a rhythm, so I just watched and let Tashi play. But I almost got myself into big trouble because there was a guy beside me and he was asking what Tash wanted to bet on because she had her money up. And I said, Tash loves heads.
Oh,
and as it's coming out, I went, and he looked at me and then he's laughed. I've laughed. I went, I don't think that's the correct terminology.
Right. He liked tails.
Yeah, sure. What do you... Tails never fails.
But
I always go.
Really?
I always go heads, but everybody always says tails never fails.
No, that's
but
not
I
true.
only pick head because when you
Alternate.
go, yeah. But I always go because I like saying head them up when I play 2-up. I always go in and get the crowd on board. And go head them up.
Oh, do you throw? Have you thrown?
Yeah, I've thrown heaps of times. I always go in there. I love it.
So there's a couple of things here, Trish. Another reason why I'm not exactly happy
what?
at the moment, I'm down on Cooper because I was enjoying such a great time. Anzac Day, 2-up, having a beer, watching the football, and then Cooper and Cheese and Jarch were having a good time. So I thought, I'll join this gang and having a really good time. Next minute, Coop goes, Mum's been calling me. She wants me to put you in a car. And I went, what?
That's a lie. I haven't called you.
Next minute, the car pulls up. He pushes me in the car and says, I'll go, mate, I just wanted to stay. I was having such a great time.
You were having a good time. But
Cooper, I didn't call you.
No, you called Dad though, remember?
Oh, I called him at one point.
And you told him to come home?
I kind of did. I sort of, because I knew he would be hanging out around you. And I was like, you know what? It's 9:30. It's time for you to come home.
In fairness to Cooper, he'd FaceTime me I'd been down in Barrel having a very wholesome weekend with my girlfriend. And Cooper, about 9 o'clock at night, started FaceTiming me. And he goes, well, look who's here. And they're at Brandon's house. And Dad's just getting up, just telling yarns and yarns and yarns. And I could see Cooper didn't have the attention on himself.
Yes.
And he decided, I'm going to get rid of the competition.
Yeah.
I was trying to clear everyone out because it was Brandon's partner's birthday, but Brandon wasn't drinking. So everybody was there and Brandon, I was like, my boy needs to get some shut-eye.
Yeah,
I'm looking after my boy and no one was going to get shut-eye when Dad hadn't taken a breath in 3.5 hours.
I was dancing.
He's nearly breaking the Guinness Book of World Records. He was kept putting Oasis on. And let me tell you, if this wasn't the crowd to be playing Dad's bangers in. Yeah. This wasn't the crowd, and the people were trying to watch the footy, and he keeps changing it, putting the YouTube on. And I was going, what's going on here?
Oh my god, he's got no social awareness.
He was on fire though. At one point, I reckon he rolled 12 stories one after another without anyone getting a word in.
Yeah, well, that's
doesn't surprise me.
It was really a podcast.
They were fun. They were great stories.
They were good stories.
The laughter all happening. I was on a roll. I was like a performing monkey at the zoo. The more they laughed, the more it performed.
Sure.
Just quickly, what about and we showed it on the show last Sunday night. Those two twins from the Sunshine Coast.
I just
those
find
two
them,
ladies. That is bizarre.
I find it fake.
They came on the radio this morning.
Did they too?
Earlier this week. Yeah, they come on the radio. They were look. I've got a theory. They've been practicing for a long time. I would struggle to see how on earth it's a
normal
thing.
Yeah, me too.
Well, twins say it is a thing.
I'm with you, Cooper. I think it's.
Well, they went on Jimmy Kimmel.
You serious?
Yeah, serious.
Really?
Mate, on school night. I know. I know, Jimmy Kimmel. So, and we're trying to get him on the Sunday night show.
Are you actually
at Magic Round? Yeah, trying to get him on.
Oh, that'd be weird.
It just creeped me out, to be honest. It gave me the creeps.
Yeah.
The heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it did. I just found it creepy.
While we're on this night, quickly before I want to ask Jack about his trip to Bower, which he just mentioned. But later, look that night after I put Dad home, I ended up having quite a good night. Anyway, later in that night, whenever it was, we were out at a restaurant, me and a few of the boys, and we were having some pizza and having some red wine, and it started pissing down. This lady next to us just literally passes out in the middle of the street and it's pissing down on her.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It was so weird. I was like, what's going on?
How old?
Oh, mid 28 maybe.
Wow.
28.
And
And she's just dropped.
She's dropped, or like she's obviously taken something, or she was really blind, like something like that. So she was like dropped, and her friends are trying to pick her up, dead weight. Me and one of the boys have walked over. This lady would have been like 60 kilos, wringing wet, trying to pick her up with dead weight. Holy shit! It felt like
not that heavy, 60 kilos.
Dead weight though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the dead weight was like she felt like 110.
Why does that work? What's the difference between a dead weight and a normal weight?
Well, when you try to pick someone up and they're like not passed out, when they're not, I don't know what the difference is.
Like the weight is the weight.
Yeah, but it's also the shift in weight too.
Yes.
Yeah, like the weight. Like, have you ever grabbed a pipe with like liquid in it? It's like that.
Yes.
Like,
Good call.
You know what I mean? Like, as the liquid, not that the liquid shifts in you, but your body mass isn't even.
Yes.
And it shifts from left to right a bit. Like, all the muscles in your butt, Trish.
Yeah. So it's an unusual. The human body is an unusual shape compared to like 60 kilo that just sat there in a ball.
So
you could pick up.
Is that why people hold people under the arms and under the knees?
Yeah.
Because the knees are kind of like a light area.
Most people, like I think the fireman carries
That's
under the
throw over.
armpits,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
and just in front of your body, and you sort of truck them back. And plus, Cooper, you haven't done gym for a while as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What are you weighing, Cooper?
Probably about 85, I reckon.
That's pretty cool.
This is the thing. I haven't changed weight.
Like, I'm just a little bit offended. Like, you sort of said like 60 kilos as though that was heavy.
No. 60 kilos.
That's not heavy.
That's why I said she was only like 60 kilos. But when I picked her up, she felt like 110. Anyway, back to the story. We've dragged her out. The owner of the place has come down and given me a bucket to put her head in. Her head had hit the bottom of the bucket and she was spewing back into her own face.
That's the way to do it.
just...
Where were her friends at this point?
They were just sitting there walking. And then this was when it got weird. The lady was spewing. She couldn't talk, anything. The one thing that brought her back to life, she looks up at me and then goes, "Hey, you're Cooper Johns."
No
and
way.
And then we booked her an Uber. So we're trying to put her in the Uber. And Connor Watson was there as well. Willie Watson, friend of the podcast.
Who booked the Uber on whose account?
No, one of our friends.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't know that.
She could live out. Whoop, whoop.
Are you kidding? I didn't know her. And then we're out there in the like storm, like just trying to like get this girl in the Uber, and she kept trying to talk footy with us both.
Oh, that's
and she was
cute.
like, no, she was like, "Connor, you think you're going to retain your spot in the Origin?"
Oh, really?
Connor's like, "Just get the hell in the Uber."
That
Like,
is so good.
We're getting pissed on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was
Oh,
very
well,
funny.
we thank you.
Hey,
Humanity thanks you for your kindness to another soul.
I've done my first aid course, so
Good lad.
saving lives and swim between
Busting
the
the beach
flags.
balls.
Jack Bowral, can you tell us about this trip for a second? Because you and your partner went down to Bowral for the weekend.
Yeah, Jen's from Crookwell, so we went down to Crookwell to see her fam, but mainly what we did was we went to Bowral on the Friday beforehand, and it was lovely.
That's beautiful.
It feels like everyone was down there. We ran into heaps of Charlie White. Of course, people know Charlie through the Buy Around, Jimmy Grain's podcast. So Charlie was
Triple
down
M's
there.
Charlie White.
And a few of our friends were down there, didn't even realise. So, you run down there, very wholesome and nice down there.
Oh, the Southern Highlands.
There was one awkward moment, though. We got to the place we were staying, the accommodation. It was almost like an Airbnb, and it was good. We sort of got lost in it when the lady said to us, "Oh, your room's been upgraded as well." And we were kind of happy with that. But then she proceeded to say the word haunted. And I sort of lost my vision. And once we got to the room, it was like this old room with an old fireplace and lounge in it. And I swear to God, Cobber, it felt like it was haunted.
Yeah,
Really?
You get that feeling, don't you?
Those
Like an
old-
entity.
Now, remember in the Cotswolds,
Yes.
we have stayed in this house, in a hotel in the Cotswolds in England. And like the room, like it actually made me feel a little discombobulated because the room was on a slope and it just had haunted vibes, didn't it?
Yep.
There were things hanging out there.
Just quickly, Jack, you just thought of that for a second. The town of Crookwell, what an interesting combination of words. Crook and well.
Yeah.
Crookwell. You go, come on, guys, what is it?
How
That's
you
a good
cook or
point. It's a
well.
very, you know what? That's why you've been in business in the television business and entertainment for 25 years.
Entertainment. Thanks, Coops.
Sure. But Jack, did you enjoy? This is the thing I want to ask you because I've got your partner's point of view, and now I want to hear your point of view for a second. Did you enjoy the country?
Yeah, I did. I did enjoy the countryside. It was very nice. We Barrel's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We went through Goulburn. It was very nice down
What
there.
about Crookwell?
Crookwell was lovely as well.
Really?
Because Jem was thinking you didn't really love the country.
Jem said to me, Jack's a city boy.
Yes.
I didn't realise just how much of a city boy he was until we went to Crookwell and Jack was just not having a good time.
Oh, you can only do so. I was doing plenty of driving, Coop. Maybe it was the
fatigue.
The extended hours driving.
Go.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't drive under fatigue.
Well, I go to Nan and Pops all the time in Cessnock. It was not too dissimilar to old Cessnock.
Yeah, sure. Not much. You know what? When I went to Cessnock, we spoke about it all last week on the potty, but one thing I did notice is I can see why people either go two ways. They either go, Matthew, you and Joey's direction, where they put, because there's nothing to do in these country towns, they either put a lot of the, hang on, let me have a go. All right, I'm a good kid. They either go and they spend all their free time, putting a lot of focus into being an athlete or good at whatever they're good at, or they go down more of a path of, they just pump beers and have a good time.
Smoke billies.
Yes, smoking. Yeah.
Is that too dissimilar to the city, Coop?
No, it's not. No, but I think there's so much more to, there's a lot more things in your free time you can do in this, go do this and everything's quite
interests.
close. Yes.
To pursue.
Yeah. When you're a kid growing up in the country, there's lots of fun things like,
the sport.
Whittling some wood, things like that.
Knitting. But there was a kid
Tom Sawyer fishing.
There was a kid down at I drove past Cessnock Sports Oval and there was a kid down there with his old man. And they would have been down there. I drove past and it looked like they'd already been kicking down there for a while. 2 hours later, I drove back. They were still down there. And I remember thinking you don't see a lot of that in the city. You don't see kids that dedicated to their craft. I just thought it's actually it's a good test of young fellas' work rate where because they grow so addicted to a sport.
Yeah. They want to make something of themselves.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it, mate. As Craig Bellamy said in his doco, that his dad told him all that time ago, mate, you work hard, you're going to get lucky. It might take time, but you're going to get lucky.
Did you and Joey, was that you and Joey though? Were you guys down there basically, how many days a week would you guys after school go down to the park together?
Every single day.
Every day?
Every day.
Cross the road at the Tafe.
Go across the road there, which is now John's Park.
Is it?
Yes.
And Phil, the cat, chased them over there.
Yeah, Phil.
Go over and train with Matt, run lines.
With mates, we'd get there and we'd go behind the town hall. There was an area there. We'd play football and you go to different places. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You play just every single day. Or if it was summer, you'd be playing cricket, things like that.
Well, it's cool. Good, city lads, because there's so many different interests, like you said, surfing, golf, basketball, so many people. It's hard to actually get a crew of boys and go, hey, let's go down to the park and let's go down and kick the footy around for 3 hours,
Yeah.
Very tough. But I just found it very interesting. It was an interesting observation. And I can see why you and Joey have made such success of yourself, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much. And that's all we've got time for.
I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now, I've got can I come in with my segment here?
Sure, you can.
All right, guys. So I've got a segment here for you. So I'm going to hand it to Coop. There's a sheet of paper here, right? Okay. I've got a little bit themed around this back end of the podcast around, of course, on Friday, we have got our Magic Round live show and we'll all be up there at Magic Round. So I thought I'd do a magic themed segment. I've got 3 stories there for you around magicians having rogue incidents happen during their performance. Each of you have got a story. I want you to read it. And at the end, I want you guys to figure out which one was faked by ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. Love it.
Oh, well,
So
okay.
there you go.
We're just reading in order. Go, Jack.
All right, I'll read mine first then. Mine's story 3. It's written myself. Okay. This is called The Soaring Illusion Gone Wrong. In 2007, a British magician performing in South Africa botched a soaring in half act. The assistant was a local stand-in recruited the day before. He misaligned himself in the box and the magician actually cut into his abdomen. Abdomen? The crowd laughed, thinking it was fake blood, until the assistant screamed for help.
Oh, God.
Paramedics rushed in and the show was cancelled mid-applause. The assistant survived, got free tickets for life, and never worked in magic again. I wonder why. The magician said, it was just a slice of bad luck. Well, I think... let me read the other one. Matthew,
Let's see the other.
You're number 1.
Okay.
It sounds fake because it's kind of funny as well.
In 1918, magician Chung Ling Su was performing the famous bullet catch trick. Now, he stood proudly as assistants loaded rifles on stage and fired at his chest. But that night, one of the rifles actually fired a live round. It struck him in the lung and he collapsed in front of the horrified audience. As he lay dying, he broke character for the first time ever and said, "Oh my God, something's gone wrong. Lower the curtain." He died the next morning, ending the illusion and the magician. There you go. Wow. Poor old Chung Ling Soo.
Oh, my
That
Lord.
one's not
There's
true.
no way. That can't be true.
That can't be Ching Ling Soo.
I don't know. That was in 1918. Who knew what was going on
All
there?
right, Trisha, yours.
Okay, mine is in 1992. A Vegas magician named Rick Delano attempted a daring underwater escape act. He was shackled and submerged inside a dolphin tank at a casino's aquatic theatre. Midway through the escape, a curious dolphin rammed into him, mistaking him for a toy. The impact spun Rick into the glass wall, giving him mild concussion. Handlers had to dive in and pull him to the surface as the audience gasped. He recovered with 6 stitches above his eye and finished the show 2 nights later on dry land. Rick later joked, "Never work with animals. They always want the spotlight."
Why are all these magicians like trying to like make a punchline out of it?
Okay, so it was one true, Jack.
Only one of them was fake. There were 2 true there.
Oh, so we got to find the fake one. Okay. I think Dad's.
So what are the titles of them, Trish? Go through the titles again.
Matthews was the bullet catching disaster. So that was in 1918. Chung Ling Soo, who had a live round.
Steady on there, Trish.
Cooper's was the soaring illusion gone wrong, where the assistant was actually cut. 2007, I just feel like we would have heard about that.
Sure. Well, what's the third one? Come on.
And the third one was mine, the dolphin. I kind of don't think mine's very exciting, the dolphin one.
I think the dolphin one is the fake one.
Really?
Do you reckon?
Because there's one thing that it said that the dolphin thought he was a toy. How do they know? The dolphin didn't talk. That's what I think it's made up. I found a hole in that story.
Oh, very clever. See,
But do you think that's just someone's assumption?
I thought it was your one, the bullet catching disaster, because I thought if you've been shot, there's no way live on stage you're going, something's gone wrong, lower the curtain.
Yes, that's true.
Like no one's got the
You don't know
comedic
Chin
time.
Lung Soo.
And also in 1918, if it hit him in the lung, did you say?
Yeah.
In the chest, he's not waiting around till the next morning. He's dying there and then. 1918.
Interesting.
Would you
Righto, Jack Johns.
Hang on. What, are we going to vote for which
Yeah.
one?
Okay.
I think,
I thought bullet catching disaster.
yeah, I agree. I feel yours was the lie, the fake one.
I'll just say I think it's the dolphin, but let's go with you. Let's go with that.
Okay.
So we think it's Matt's.
The fake story was the dolphin.
Redcliffe.
Interesting.
Good first half,
There
poor
you
second
go.
half.
Now, with that, I thought we'd go straight into blind draft.
Okay, go on.
Yep. So we've done. I thought let's go magic themed again. Let's just go famous magicians for blind draft.
What is going on with you?
Magic round.
Magic round. Excellent, Jack.
Oh, okay. I can see the
How did
relation
you
now.
miss that?
I thought, what the hell is going on with this weird man? He's obsessed with magicians.
Yeah.
You creeper. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry,
All
keep
right.
going.
First magician, blind draft. Here we go. David Copperfield.
Oh, he's got to be up there.
He's good, right? Isn't he? Like he's the one that's been at Vegas for
I think he's
years.
still alive and practicing, isn't
Yeah,
he?
I think so.
I think he's got to be.
I don't think he's practicing. I'm pretty sure he's perfected it.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm going number 2.
I would too. I don't know, but who's going to be above him is my question.
What's the one that died underwater?
Houdini.
Houdini. I mean, Houdini's got to be number 1, right? If he's in there.
If he's in there.
Yeah, I think I'd go 2. Let's
Let's
keep
go
it
David
a saver.
Copperfield.
All right.
Yeah,
Sweet.
number
Next
2.
one. Chris Angel, Mind Freak.
I don't know him.
He's a different kind. He was very famous on TV.
Mind, yeah, okay.
But he was more. He'd do things like stand on nails and hot like coals, and he was that sick kind of magician.
yeah.
4.
I reckon 4.
Yeah, probably more 4 because he was more just had a high pain threshold.
Yeah.
Well, that's a gift in
Somewhat
itself,
insane.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Next one. David Blaine.
Number 5, because I've never heard of him ever.
Yeah, I'm not.
Have
I
you
don't
heard
know.
him? Are you familiar with David Blaine?
No, I'm not. Let's go
he's
5.
Yeah, 5. Sorry, Blaine.
Okay. Sorry, Blaine. Next one. I've gone with Harry Houdini.
Yeah, number 1. Did you
Number
say?
1, yes, he's the magician's magician. Although, was he that good? I mean, he died. But
But that's dedicated to his
Craft.
craft, isn't you?
true that. I'll go 1.
Yeah.
The
And
original, and probably the best.
Houdini. All right,
Right
Jack.
up.
Who's the last one? We've only got number 3 left.
Yeah.
Okay. I've gone with Penn and Teller, the dynamic magician duo. You know You know those two?
No,
Who the
never,
hell
ever.
are
Where'd you
they?
get this goddamn list?
People would know them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you they don't.
Well, I'm happy with 3.
Oh, yeah, well, they're 3.
Yeah, I'm not even happy with them being on the list. That is it.
Okay, so
But I do like
Houdini and Copperfield.
Yeah, they're the only 2 who are really new. Oh,
Same
Chris
two.
Angel, mine Freesville, but
Hey,
Not the first list. Copperfield's been on.
yeah.
oh,
Yes.
is
Should we talk about that?
Siegfried and Roy, are they magicians?
they're
more
more
like
performers?
line two, yeah, performers.
Oh,
but I suppose what
sorry,
they
I
did was
half waiting.
What did they do with the tiger?
I don't know.
What did they
Make
do?
it
Was
disappear?
like-
they make it disappear, jump through hoops, flaming hoops,
Hang on,
things
let
like
me-
that.
let
Of
me
course, one
Google.
of them tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them was tact.
That's why, and they've never performed again, right?
No.
One of them. One was a bit crook, but
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, crook, all right.
Well, Trish is actually
well.
taking over film, fame, and
I
vinyl
am.
today.
Like Trish, let's do it.
Last weekend, I was bombarded by Ben Affleck movies, and I loved it.
Why?
Well, I saw a couple of new ones, and I saw one that is my all-time favourite of his, so much so that I don't often rewatch movies. I reckon I've watched this about 4 or 5 times, and I love it just as much each time. The Town.
Oh, the town's
Is that
good.
in
Such-
Is that set in Boston?
Yeah.
Mitchell Pearce's favourite movie.
So good. It's
Is
such
it?
a good. And then I went over and saw some girlfriends, and I was telling them, and none of them had watched it. I went, go home and watch it. I said it's one of the best. And then I just thought about him in general. He's had some great movies.
These are good,
Yeah,
terrific.
he
films.
plays a good Boston.
He
Yeah.
does play
Boston.
yes, Boston boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of course, Goodwill Hunting was Boston too, wasn't it?
Good Will Hunting is a masterpiece. However, I don't think it's his best performance simply because
It was early for
he's
him.
overshadowed by Matt Damon
Yes.
and Robin Williams.
Robin
They
Williams,
own that film.
Yeah.
My favourite role he played, in my opinion, his best movie is The Accountant.
He's fabulous when he plays the fellow with Asperger's.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
fabulous.
there's
in that
another one
as well.
coming out this year. Accountant number 2.
Oh, is there?
Is it really?
Yeah, have you not seen that being advertised?
No,
lately?
and I'll be
It's out now.
on board for that.
Oh, is
you
it really?
kidding? Are you serious? And this isn't even a live read.
No, it's not even.
We'll cut it. No. Yeah. Well, if it's out now, I might actually
Well,
get
go
down
on.
there.
Yeah.
Not
And
tonight.
Do you know another
Not
one?
on a school night.
No,
No, probably not in the
no,
school. night.
no.
I'll drink to that.
And another one, with The Town, he directed, starred in, and co-wrote
Yeah.
as well. He does a lot of directing.
Well, he and Matt Damon couldn't get a break, so they wrote
Their own.
Good
their
Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, they wrote
Yeah, a
Good
lot
Will
of
Hunting.
actors do that. So
Do.
Argo, let's remind you of some of his others. Argo,
Yeah.
Gone Baby Gone,
Yeah.
Reindeer Games. I watched that on the weekend. That was actually quite good. It was the first time I'd seen that.
Never
Bit
Bit quirky, but
Rattendoll Baby.
and he was Armageddon as well,
Yeah, he was too. I don't want to miss a thing.
and Air.
Oh,
The
yeah.
90s.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah, so I forgot about that. I went, oh yeah, he was in that too.
Wow.
And Gone Girl, yeah,
You know
he's
what-
got a great.
You know what wasn't good of
repertoire.
you know what wasn't good of his, Jack? When he took over the Batman franchise for a bit.
Yeah,
He did.
See, I
Was it
thought-
not good?
He was hard done by, I think. I actually thought he was good. But I just thought the actual movies themselves weren't that.
Unlucky
Maybe you're
in
right.
love. He's got to move on from J-Lo.
I don't think he does
They're not
romantic comedies very well.
I don't think he does romance
They're,
well.
they're not together, Colin.
No, he knows
Yeah, that's
that,
why.
don't you?
That's why he said they got
They
a movie.
broke
He's got to
up.
move
Yeah,
on.
but I mean, they've tried twice. My advice to both of you guys is just you got to get on with your lives. You're addicted to each other.
Look,
but you're
they
bad
tried.
for each other.
Maybe you should talk to Penn and Teller, see what they've been doing for so many years.
Yeah, good call.
Sure.
Well done.
Yeah. Blind draft. Once again, a great reference.
Oh.
What else have we got?
You know what?
What?
I think we're coming towards the end. I've got a little bit of feedback. If we'd like a little bit of
Sure thing.
I'm obsessed with
Hendrix asks for some parenting advice after welcoming their new baby boy son, Ace.
feedback. Oh, wow.
They hadn't been warned about being hosed by their child mid-nappy change. And do they have any tips? Cooper was a very big one for this.
He was.
Oh, what? Urinating?
Yeah. Like,
He's a strange boy when he used to go to the toilet. Remember he used to, when he do a poo, he get an erection? True. Remember, Jack, you were too young. Do you
is that
remember
normal? I don't know. I can't really remember. I didn't notice.
Still good.
And Jack's, you're not out of the woods, Jack. Remember he'd have his turds and get caught in his backside. We'd have to pull him out.
What?
We'd have to pump his legs.
Pump his
Yeah.
legs, that's right.
We'd have to pump his
And
legs.
still no movement. We'd have to pull it out and go, oh no, whose turn?
We
Paper,
did not.
scissors, rock.
What? Like it'd freeze in there, like he's in
Like
the North Pole.
a little
like
constipated, yeah, but he'd be
Yeah.
crying in pain trying to get out. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a little
sounds-
phase he went through.
I turned 25.
And it's all good now, isn't it, darling?
Yeah, he still pumps his legs though.
Okay, so Hendrix, the only thing I can say is always have a nappy on hand and always have that little hose covered, my friend.
Yep, tuck it between the legs.
Yeah. Do you know what? Cooper, I reckon, actually got me in the mouth one time. I'm sure he peed in my mouth.
Could have left that out.
Okay,
we almost vomited in my mouth too.
The glorious moments of being a parent.
I don't think we can beat that. I think that's. I think your son urinating in your mouth. That is the perfect end for our Magic Round show.
It's the apex. Can I say right before we leave? I wanted to quickly tell you guys there was a last weekend. Sorry, there was a podcasting boxing match up in the Gold Coast. You guys seen anything on that?
Podcasting
never.
boxing
It's like the second year they've done it where they get podcasters and
to fight?
They fight in the ring.
Right.
What?
Sounds
Yeah,
classic.
Yeah, the Alpha Blokes podcast run that, don't they, Coop?
Yeah, the Alpha Blokes. You haven't
wonderful.
met those fellas. You might meet them up at Magic Round. They're up there quite a bit.
They're on our flight.
I met him on a flight once.
Yeah, they were lovely
yeah.
fellas.
Yeah, me and Jack played with Cam Lowry, one of the boys, in Mick Fanning's golf day last year. Terrific fella.
Yeah.
He actually messaged me after the golf day asking if I wanted to fight him in it, which I remember seeing the message laughing. I forgot to reply.
Thank goodness.
Like, yeah, I would have killed him.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I would never get in the ring, not out of sheer fear for me. I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to put someone else's life in my hands because you know what I'm like, Dad.
Yeah, well, you've learned off the best. I mean, I'm mastered in 6 martial arts, all the dangerous ones.
Yeah.
So if I kill someone, I'm going to jail because these things are lethal weapons.
Look at those. Put those claws to camera, Coop.
Not you,
not you, Copper.
Sorry.
Those things aren't claws.
Show us those claws, Cooper. Yeah, for
They are
those
beautiful.
listening, Cooper Johns has honestly dagger-like fingers.
He's quite the pianist.
My God, what's the matter with you? Hey, Cooper, before we go, I must. On our Sunday night show, we had Max King on and Toby Sexton, both of them champions. Geez, Max King's a nice kid.
He's
Such a beautiful kid.
He's nice.
He's so good. He's such a funny man. He's we played together in Melbourne. I remember we played again the week before. He was a mid-year transfer, so he was up at the Gold Coast Titans. He was in reserve grade playing for Tweedhead Seagulls. We actually played him the week before he transferred, and we were into him because we all knew that he was maybe. There was a lot of reports saying Max King potentially going to mid-year thing, and we ended up beating Tweed by 60 that day. And I remember at the end of the game, Harry was into him going. He's like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, just come down to Melbourne. He says, you'll never you won't lose again like this if you come down to Melbourne. And he was like, yeah, you know what, boys, that's it. I'm going to come down.
He
talks like that a little bit. Yeah, you know what, that's it. I'm coming down, boys. I don't give a shit. I'm coming down. Come down. He is such a good teammate, such a good bloke, so good for team morale. He potentially be the quirkiest man I've ever met in my life. He never has a down day. He's always on, always on, almost to the point where you got to go, Kingy, you go sit over in that corner for a bit. I'm going to sit up the other end. Let's not talk for about 2 to 3 minutes.
You're very much like that, aren't you? Like you like your space when you like Cooper's time. You want Cooper's time.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
We're at the airport one day, and all the Bulldogs players were there, and I was in the bookstore looking for an excellent book, and I couldn't find one, by the way. Anyway, I feel his hand on my shoulder and turn around to Kingy, and he goes, "How's he talking, Coops?"
He goes, what did he say? Otherwise, I can't impress him.
He said, well, it's good. No, but he said, hey, Matty, how are you? I just want to say I really, really appreciate the fact that every time I see you, you always ask how my family's going. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for that. And I went, oh, Max, no problem.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, he's a good man. Good family.
They are a great family.
Good family.
They're the Kings, baby.
That's why they're the Kings.
Hey, and remember, if you are up in Brisbane this weekend, Saturday, we're going to be at Fanland, Leisure Deck, Queen's Wharf, Level 7, midday to 2 p.m. Come and see us. We'd love to see you.
If we make it there, am I right?
No, that's kind of my fear. I think that's what my fear is, that we'll turn up and there'll be no one there.
Oh, no, I don't care
We're
about
talking
that.
about us.
We're talking about if we
can
show
have
up.
1,000 Maggie beers.
Yeah, that's if we show up.
Cooper?
I've got to commentate on the Sunday.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've got to commentate on the Sunday, the 4 o'clock game. I think they're worried about me because oftentimes I get up there and give myself a good slamming. Yeah. And they've said, oh, mate, can you commentate a game for us? And
which game is it?
Penrith?
I'm doing Penrith Broncos on the Sunday.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah,
Jeez,
Penrith.
man.
Well,
Penrith got to win this, man.
What is going on?
Yeah. If they don't win this, they're a chance. They're a chance of missing the 8 because they're coming dead last at the moment.
Coops, this is a game I think they absolutely must win because Origin's around the corner.
Yeah.
And they're going to be without all those stars.
Yeah. Will they though?
Yeah.
Will those stars be in?
Question. They still pick.
Will they still pick them?
It's a funny. It's weird. It's a good talking point where you go, oh, geez, like they're coming dead last, and that none of the boys are really lighting the world on fire right now. But they're a champion team. They've got champion players. You can't not pick. Think your Liam Martins,
mate. Isaiah Yeo.
Yeah, Yowie.
It'd be very interesting.
Dylan Edwards, you pick them
to see what happens if they put them in that different environment and how they play.
Brian Toto. I mean, they could be without 5 blokes.
Yeah,
and they come. I wonder if that'd be. I'd love to get David Middleton on the case. If they get 5 blokes out of their side, is that the most ever picked out of a team that's coming last?
Oh, it must be.
It would have to be, wouldn't it?
That's a stat.
It'll be very interesting to see what Laurie does, though.
It will be.
Yeah, you know what? We'll ring him.
Give him a call. Send him a text.
Laurie, just between you and I, are you going to pick Nathan? Just between us, of course.
You're off the record. You're not on the podcast.
Righto, guys. Hey, have a good one. Hope to see you up in Brizzy.
Come say hi. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, Jack.